Right now, we're not really seeing a cheated rotation just yet. Instead, NRG opting to give the site.
Curious, yeah. It's a fading of the smoke where Dumao's actually going to be seen just barely, but not really the shots that you would have expected given he had the drop on him. OC will go down thanks to all that room they'd accumulated, but that doesn't really give any answers to NRG as to where the finish will follow, as this could be anywhere, and George, he could be anywhere. Dumao's got no idea. Another couple of whip shots on this player, and it's bought so much time that Legacy need to execute a now.
They know it's coming, but what can they do to stop it, bro? Flash dodged and up high on the ticket boxes. It's a couple more missed shots, but it'll favor bro in the long run as everything starts to subside. There's no more utility left in the rankings for Legacy. It's just raw numbers in NRG's favor. And George waiting, knowing he's the isolation to come through until his teammates peek from CT spawn, and all hell starts to break loose in their favor. Lato, the only leverage, back with 2 headshots, but it's not planted for him, and Axe sticks it fully on pop. I didn't know where he got that kit from, but apparently all they need is 2, because Lato's stuck in ticket, takes care of everything for Legacy.
But look at the buy in comparison, though. I mean, it's not necessarily, I would say, 100% of a bonus round for Legacy. They're still going to have more than enough money to get like, some AK-47s and utility. They look like they wanted to take some pace to that, but they kind of pumped the brakes. There are 2 players walking up. What a good setup this could be. George on first contact, annihilated, and Dumao doubles down. What a great set of double entries with no flash to support, not even needing a teammate. That's the Dumao we come to expect.
I mean, they still took the pace into it. Couple of anti-rush nades, that's not going to stop them. The only thing they've got back is a late kill from bro. After that, this is a save call. NRG, you'd be lucky to get away with these 2 M4s. Legacy have shown how quick they are to try and get these hunts. And that was in a buy round, so rather a force. Here, when they have a bonus, they're absolutely going to go for it. More incentivized to. Lux's Mac 10 doesn't hide its approach up catwalk, but they should have an adequate defense to put up in countering it. But a couple of dings gets Nitro worried, and now people start to creep closer. Another off cat as they see the second person. Again, I don't really know if you're going to get away with these hexed. All of the responsibility lies on him.
Just throw all the bodies, honestly and truthfully.
Look at the util. They've still got a full set. They could easily clear out one of these angles if they wanted to. There's the molly. Nitro's going to have to start sweating a little bit. They've got a flash. They don't have hex, and they don't have any more heads.
Well done.
Finally, Hex takes initiative and continues to walk through the apartments, but this is what they're looking for. Lato, he's posted up from top mid, and Hex might walk right in unless he turns away. Everything is a moving part right now, and Hex has the right idea, and they're going to know this is shifting into a B take. Nissan was leaving A. He was the lurker. 5-7 up close. We've heard this story before. 1 kill can make a thing go right. Nitro's just turned the tides. As you've got too many places to look on this cat crunch, the bomb is stuck in transition. 20 seconds, however, in the meanwhile, Dumao never left Con, so he's going into A. If they can catch this bomb, coming up connector, this round could be theirs, and now Dumao has to answer for it, with time not on his side, nor numbers, nor artillery. It looks like NRG have made a miracle.
Wow.
What's going on here? NRG, it felt like they were trying to retake mid, but then it gets called off by the A players?
I said that we should have a good idea as to what they want to do in the first 30, maybe 40 seconds of the round, but I've got no idea. I mean, they killed bro in ladder, but they've got Dumao who's walked all the way back from ramp to the apartments. Is he going to be a late activation lurk after they go through their initial push through Con? That could be something. That could be a nice nuanced layer to this take that they may not be anticipating, but he still has a incendiary and no one's at the ramp other than the bomb. That's problems. That's Neeson, who needs to get a duel, who needs to win a fight, and if they can't, they're going to be in for some trouble as the rest eventually reconglomerate. A back is turned from Nitro. That should be George on an early warning sign to maybe do something. He needs to play off the wall, drop the incendiary into Palace, forces out actually Lado, who get the kill. I can't believe that. This round is a bundle of joy, but only for Legacy as well as you and I, because as it's unfolded, it's NRG on the back end, and they've been laid out.
I mean, there's so many ways this could go wrong. This still can. I don't think Hext is going to get away. Again, Legacy are not letting these guns go empty-handed. You have to fight for them. Satson, a little further advanced than I'd like him to be, considering that's the biggest weapon to give away, but I think they've seen Hext cross over to bench. They at least know somewhat of where he's at. Yeah, this will be a secured kill, but there's so many ways this round can go wrong, even though it's 4-on-5, even though Legacy have slightly a utility advantage. Throwing that volley and ramp, all of a sudden, OC can just swing out, drop the carrier, do whatever he wants, and the round would be done.
Like 90% of that round really hinged on the fact that Legacy were betting on them not making any re-aggressions, and if they had an A or B, they would have been cooked, to be frank. But that Molly, speaking of being cooked, it'll fade, and OC misses his shot. That can't happen. Needs to have some impact before he goes down. His teammate is here. Pro has arrived in through the smoke. Lotto will die, and they've yet to make their way onto the bottom floor. It's Neeson next to do so, perhaps, as you would have thought. The smokes are still up and in play, and one well-placed flash or one well-placed smoke may give him the room to move, but right now he's tucked and he's cornered. It's OC who's got his exit from the first window, it would seem, and Hexed on the ladder, but Lux laid up through Catwalk.
What?
He's kept his body covered and clear, and Hex is going to expose himself, but not going to be seen initially. It's Bro who gets out through the doorway, and Hex wide swinging. What's happened? They've collapsed from their morals. Their initial game plan has been backfired, and now, although they're all here, who's trapped in with who? Is it NRG with Legacy, or is it Legacy with NRG? It seems to be the former, as Nitro is left to clutch a 5 HP Neeson and a Sadzin off the post.
Well, that's pretty much all you got beyond the HE, and Nitro's taking the fight against the off through the smoke. Sadzin, it's the easiest shot you're going to get.
We're going to be feeling kind of silly, maybe. A flash off the floor from Lotto to entry for himself with. That's pretty interesting, taking that initiative is Lotto. I think the Swiss Army knife is how Paladin would put it. And I don't tend to disagree. Entry, support, his own entry, whatever you task this guy with, he should be good enough for you. And although a blind Sadzin regains vision only just slightly before he gets shot down upon, he will find his kill. And you will find them still a man advantage up against these pistols. This isn't the worst round in the world, given that they were always hankering to buy in the following. Round 8 is where they wanted to deal their biggest and hopefully best blow. But right now, I mean, a kill or two more wouldn't hurt.
Kind of one of those take whatever you can get kind of rounds, but
yeah,
the way it's formatted, there are openings. There is room in World for opportunity. Now, I think both shoulders have been spotted in CT. Oh, my God.
That was a headshot.
I was going to say, yeah. Looked a lot cleaner, but that was the one guy who could fall. Hex, look, I'll say it. He's got a kit. I mean, yeah, it's just not going to work. You got Sadzin posted up jungle with an op. When have you ever seen a pistol win that duel?
We're going to need to see a little bit more beyond that. The round is still not yet done. 5v4 conversions can many a time go astray. They need to hold on to dear life.
Yeah, they found George. They saw his gun barrel sticking out earlier. They knew that was an isolation to have. They put everything on taking him out of connector. And now NRG start to sweat. We're already in the deficit. Now they lose another man, and things just look to turn from bad to worse. Legacy found very safe ground in middle, however, so I'm not surprised to see them resort here. But look at this. I don't think you're ever going to expect Lux in Delpan. I mean, OCM, a little shocked they didn't keep walking up, but I'm even more shocked that Legacy are sticking around in mid. There goes Lux, finally peeking out of Delpan. They're still trying to go through mid. OC isn't hiding that he's on Cat, but they're giving him so much time and so much opportunity. He saw another head on bench. They still have pressure on the Cat bricks, and it's just play after play where there's not really any trade potential. Legacy, they take so long to walk up mid, and now Sadzin shows face, but it feels like it's too late. The bomb is down bottom mid. And time is dwindled to a mere 15 seconds. You've got almost no time to actually clear Bro out of CT spawn.
No.
He's just going to sit there. Wait for you to go in and take the fight. Wait for you to go in and go for the plant. Count to 1, count to 2, whatever it may be. Eventually, you're going to pop out, and it's Sadzin sticking the plant. But now, the guns look to get activated. Doom out with the silent window boost. This is something we haven't seen, and I don't think NRG are all that ready for it. Bro, keeping tabs on it from under balcony, but he's distracted with the space being taken out ramp with the footsteps pitter-pattering in. OC's got to do something, but he has everybody staring at him, the entire world on his shoulders. So you look to Nitro, you look to Hexed, one in CT and the other, opposite end of the map. Again, all anonymity thrown to the wind as they attempt this 2-on-2, but it feels like the odds are getting rough.
Who else but Lotto to play the flex, though? He's picked up the sniper. He's looking to put Sadzin in a good position right now, seeing as he's the natural-born offer. He's given over those responsibilities, and he has delivered. Very well done on the first. Very fast and very sharp on the shot to Nitro, as I didn't think that he would have had it in him, but maybe at least not that much, but it's more than enough in the tank. But, you know, for every brief flash comes the darkness that ensues or precedes, so gotta be the full package. And Lotto being the full package for Legacy as the first one dropped, problematic. He was in one of those positions we've actually criticized Legacy despite their lead for being a little bit too far away from the pack, where it didn't really seem as if there was a whole lot of vision behind it. His teammate assumed the same position, and they assumed the position of mid, and Sadzin, I actually can't believe he gets away, and he will not. It's a thing too good to be true.
I mean, they're still trying to fight for mid, but it feels like NRG have finally caught on somewhat. Knowing somebody's in window, Hex is not going to let that one go. Nice little love tap from his teammate, too. A pat on the back. We mentioned it earlier for Legacy. It's only fitting NRG get one, too.
All good. It'll be like a Galil for Lux, maybe a Mac for Lotto, but
they're so confident right now. George is just going to tuck play anti and wait for them to walk out. Smoke is perfectly timed. Couldn't be better. But Dumao has other ideas. Creeps through it. There's George stepping up. He needed to, or else OC and he both fall. However, the site still may be susceptible to being overrun, and I don't think NRG are going to be too quick to try and stop them. Say, we'll play retake instead. However, early on in this round, they baited the B nades. There won't be mollies for this retake beyond what OC brings into it from Ticket. There's that, one smoke, and one flash. Their time, not of a huge factor, as they're going to go back in from Connector. This is a whole mess of things because there's still a player in Underpass that they don't even know about. Hex, last man spotted on Cat. Good luck getting back in. He'll try his damnedest, and they are all split up. I can't say there aren't 1v1s on the board for him to try and seize, but he'll have to work these perfectly. Smoke covers Khan, knows a man's in jungle. This is where our crossfire can start to get from nice to deadly, and it is planted for them as well, so it's not like that's going to be something to worry about. Sneaking through into stairs, it's the Tech 9 trying to take the first initiative, trying to take the first contact. Lato, he's just a beacon to look at. Not even the guy shooting, it's Nissim who ends the half, and a 9-3 finish from Legacy starts to ease our worries.
I think that you can very well say that a team can be T-sided given the head-to-head, whatever that may be. And we don't really have any information on how this head-to-head has shaped up now, though. We're loving it. It's going to be Sadzin, who gets one singular kill before the smoke will bloom, looking to find that little bit more, knowing he's the last pillar of this site effectively until his teammates have arrived. He's unable to do that, and now problem will start to shape. Nissim phases the smoke, goes all the way through, shoots a trash bin, but it was just a little bit of an aim warm-up, a routine for him to catch George on the way back to spawn. His teammate's been softened, and this could be a field day for Dumao if he had any vision.
But that's exactly why they bring the flash. They say don't bring a knife to a gunfight. I feel like that's the equivalent. Sadzin, it's not like he's not going to attempt it. It's just not going to go well. It's a night and day pistol from the first where we saw pretty much no headshots connected. Very all over the place. And how the hell does he get that kill kind of mentality?
Yeah, they might. And Dumao is going to be, I guess, the final boss in all of this. And he's going to have the ability of invisibility. His hidden technique as he's boosted upon the boxes. A's been cleared by Bro. He's going to call them off Cat. Bomb's going to immediately drop off Cat. And if Bro goes down, maybe Lotto's got room to do more. And he's going to tuck. He's going to try and get a 1-versus-1 further beyond even that. But a jumping Nitro's pulled his crosshair too far a ways away. There's a hard ask for them to try and make this work. Even still Legacy. But at the very least, at the bare minimum, they've gotten themselves a man up, and Nitro's leg will not be spotted. Dumao, as patient as he can be, he will not be rewarded, but aggression from Nissim will be. It's a 2-versus-3, and they're so low. George needs to make this triple sing. He needs to do something soon. A flash up high from his teammate, but they're not blind enough. Statton's got the line, held and hold from Nitro, and 1-versus-3 clip he's going to have to hit with only 30 bullets in his. Oh, as a matter of fact, he only had 5, and it's ripped from their jaws. I can't believe Legacy have done this. Ascend on the scoreboard himself to where he was once in the bottom sides, but that could be said about everybody now as they also look to raise their level, as they also begin to hit shots that turn rounds such as the last. And here comes the execution into A with what they have, with what they've got. They've afforded a plant, or you would have thought the smoke does cover. The nade will not blow it to where he'll be seen and spotted, but they're being picked apart one after another. They try to rush the issue, and they've gotten themselves a gun. That's the very small win, I would say, that they found thus far. But George, he's gotten 2 very big ones. He's on 16 HP, but he still made himself a turret. He stood idly by at default and tapped down 2. And more to be done with players to pull. Still at the same space. Nissim's been dinked. George is a titan in this round, and he might have done enough. The last of the utility that they had on their belts, the smoke, the kit to pair, and Dumao is on. But OC to shoot, and he'll find only the first as it's Hex instead by his side. Obviously not shying away from his own individual abilities, trying to fight down Lotto and force him out. He has flushed him successfully, but it's not really dissuaded his team from going from the execution. They were already on their way back, and time was of the essence. It's Hex who catches a kill onto the player who was stuck out in the open. It's Sads and Scout. I think we've seen one too many a time where these lesser weapons have done something miraculous, and Lux almost making me use my words. Thank the Lord, if you're an NRG fan, that the bomb does get planted, but that, again, is only half the battle. They need Neesim to be able to fight off this spawn side with Sadzin, who's waited for all so long a time, and so many of them are tagged. A scout shot into 3 would be fatal. Not going to be the frag, and that should be it. It should be. But even now, still going in for it. Bro is threaded the needle with Lux, who still stands to the stairs. Smoke will fade, and he hears Lux running away.
Takes way longer than it needed to. They go through every sort of ring they can to let that round continue on. But I mean, in their defense, they do kind of need control of something.
Kind of pushing up mid. I don't think they're going to go much further beyond, yeah. That could have been a lot worse for Lux to actually be fully committed before they'd done that.
This is weird. I mean, they're on two, again, completely different pages. George is forced to go out through that palace smoke, and even though they get the trade back in mid, the bomb is down on A. They know where this is going. But while this is going on, Bro is somehow crept all the way through the apartments, cleared out B, and there will be a post plant that Legacy have to answer for. In fact, I don't even know if they're going to go for this. They have no kits, they have 2 flashes, and they're just now starting to catch wind that this is likely going to be a B hit, but I don't really know how favoring this is going to be. Oh, will be. Wait, Bro's going to keep going. Bro, he starts in mid, goes through, gets the pick back on window, and then never really puts his foot on the brake. And now Nitro's got to play this 1v2 from the Van Pillar. He'll know where the market player is coming from, but I don't know if he's aware about the second. Clearly not with the way he's holding. And they're playing this so well together. Trading off of one another until Nitro removes Dumao without so much as a second thought. And now it's an honest-to-God one-on-one still. That kit going to be a massive problem. You've got to play around. It feels like he knows, and at this point, the round's already done. Lux, he can just hope to add some kills to the board, but not even that is obtainable.
I think that's okay. I really do. There's 3 players here still, Anthran. And he's going to confirm that nobody's coming from mid, so they can put all sights locked. Look out for the first tag would be big, but a kill would be even bigger. He goes huge. So too are going to have the pistols. As one drops off the balcony, clear to the left and clear to the right. It's Bro that'll finish the job that George had started, and now Neesim stayed and waited, but can wait no longer when Bro goes hunting. A 2v2 with Vlado nowhere in sight. He was over at A this whole time, but still, this guy's Deagle. We've seen him hit shots with very little delay in between pulling the trigger. It's Nitro who's going to be the first up and challenger. The head is all he'll need, and only a 1v1 you would have thought, but even still, the AK triumphs. And Lotto gives them a run for their money. He gets the sweat visible on the necks. AWP is heading over towards ladder. Might have made the jump towards catwalk. Eventually will get out and through, but it's the A site very, very quickly being scattered through ramp, and one in mid also very quick. It's OC who's been sitting at this position for all this time. He's yet to activate Bro with a good kill, and Lotto's under fire. Lotto's above fire, actually, to be more accurate, as he's playing on the balcony, and there's one to his side as well.
OC, he gets ladder for free. This felt like it was a dream scenario post plant. They had no idea about him still being here, but now the op is back in. They might even peek for the smoke rooms. Yes, giving an opportunity to Sadzin, but more so to Neesim. Now Sadzin's got to jump through his smoke, and he's got to do it all himself. Stuck at the window pillar, getting wrapped down by 3 different eager and hungry T's. Now you've got Dumao sprinting through a smoke of his own and somehow making ends meet. Where does the advantage come in these rounds? And are they even going to plant B? For a moment, I thought Bro was going to run through market, go back to A, but he'll stabilize his feet on the B site's ground and look for Lotto's crawl up through catwalk. I think he was. The barrel gave it away, but Lotto, we know him to be an aim star, but maybe not so much against Bro, because it's an ace from him that ties us up at 10-all. And it almost feels like this is one of those chess games where you look at and like both. But like you always just with each turn see like a huge piece advantage going back the other way, and we might even see it again because Bro's just run out middle and there's 3 people here looking him down. It feels like an anti-strat from Legacy because they still got a pistol going into ramp, going back into A. It's going to be a retake effort most likely, but they've got weapons. They've got an AK somehow on Lux. And even though he's behind this smoke, he's trying to make life hell for taking NRG.
Refreshing Pressing their fingers down on the pressure points. Dumau ready for the backstab. George needs to be covered, needs to be careful, needs to be aware, and needs to be cerebral about what the possibilities are. He just turned away from the ramp at the wrong moment, and Hex, at the very least, at a distance, wastes no time finding the head, reaming it back, finding his second kill, and looking to get heated up and ready for another
huge.
Not on an op, but on an AK-47. Looking to be the one to support as Hex is covered by this molly. Can't swing in. Bomb not tapped. It's a full stick. They have no kit. It's actually not going to be fully stuck. They've gotten off and ran away. You would have thought that would have been their only chance, but they're more interested in the AK-47. Not taking over situations or scenarios, to whereas OC's been pretty happy to play with an AK-47 on this T side almost all the way through, if not all the way through, if I'm misremembering. I can't actually recall a moment where he had one, but even still. Shot out good from Sadzin, as mentioned. Again, the smoke won't bloom in time to cover Hext.
Knows somebody's in ramp, knows somebody's in CT. Here's footsteps in window. He has whereabouts of 3 players already locked down. This is a game of timing, a game of chance. And George is just hoping that that player in Underbout doesn't peek, bro, or the timing doesn't favor him. Bro, oh my God, he somehow gets Lux turning away. Lux was holding that for a good 20-30 seconds, and the entire pop isn't even going to A. It's just Nissim stuck at the back of the site on B. This is still a winnable round from Legacy. It all comes down to time. 13 seconds. They've got to get this plan. All he's doing is playing his life, stopping that bomb from getting into the site, stopping them from getting a guaranteed post plan, and they still think he's around the corner. But eventually, OC puts him in the grave and gives NRG map point. Perfectly timed smoke, too. Oh, this goes from bad to worse. I'm actually kind of worried about this.
I think that flashbang from Sads is actually going to be the first piece that he pulls. I think he's going to try and set up Lotto as soon as they head up over the ramp side, and here it is. No nade first. That may be the flash. There it'll go, right in front, but he doesn't activate. He actually stalls. They probably would have expected there to be a swing if that were to be the case, so this might be even smarter, but he needs his teammates to stay alive. He needs his teammates to get killed. He needs his teammates to do something. Nitro, back turn, bomb scene, flash is there, and he's blinded for long enough, but still catches the frag. It might have been enough, and so seemingly it has. Legacy are back with one more. You're catching my drift. It's NRG who said that they were to bring the boom tonight. NRG said that they were ready to strike, but Lightning doesn't seem to strike twice in the same place unless it's Legacy who's on the other end. This round had to have been just about as good as the last, and they've gotten beyond the points of default, but they've not yet gotten beyond the point of a first and opening kill. They may have found Dumau, but so it would seem as of now it's all that they'll find unless Bro brings everything. In a 1 versus 4, turn 3, that's all it will ever be. It ceases to exist in reimagining Mirage as we go to overtime. Wild. Now Bro's just waiting for the moment to get in, and another timing for Bro. The luck, I guess you could call it, has shifted from him, or into him from Lotto, but Lotto still stands, Lotto still survives, and he still sticks around at this box where he elevates just over top to catch Nitro, who still finds the kill. Frankly, never really expecting that, but Nissim, he's picked up a sniper of his own, never noticed it was the double. Nitro still just bobbing and weaving back and forth, but eventually to maybe find the net to slip as he gets in through spawn. This would probably be the only place I think they expect the least as far as that would go.
Yeah, but now what do you do? Because they realized this wasn't open things. Yeah, walked all the way up. I love the way Legacy have played this. There was only a couple of places he could have gone, right? And Nitro, there was clutch potential, right? It was 2 ops. Health doesn't matter. But now when you tuck in Firebox, let him plant on 5 HP, he just pull off the sidearm and get the job done.
Put to a halt as they peeled off. Nissim now posting down range, and he's going to be tested. He's going to be testing his teammates rotating away. He's got nobody really close to be able to support him. Lux will get dropped, and that's going to continue to splinter them. That's going to continue to send these players of Legacy off and away, but Nissim needs to be able to hit his shots, and I don't think he'll have much time to hit any more than a 1, and not even that.
No, flashes were sublime. The trading was even better. The spacing couldn't have been better, and NRG just find themselves with an open and honest B bomb site. Oh, even some BM thrown into the mix. Maybe NRG aren't so worried about getting rounds on the board. I was actually a little alarmed, right? Because it feels like a couple times now Legacy have brought ops out and they've gotten one. They've played these traditional angles and gotten away with it. This time it's night and day. Sadzin, he's just fighting for saving, and even that's far-fetched. Another great shot from Bro.
more of a conversation of a head-to-head clash than this map than on Inferno maybe, but I think now floodgates have opened and conversation has let us somewhat dry ourselves, but the players seemingly not letting off.
But you are right. Would like to see a bit more out of the guy, and here's that chance, because as this smoke starts to subside at the top of the apartments, guess what? Lotto's on the other end of it, and this is going to be an A-pop. Bomb, soon to regroup. George, how did you get in? Ooh, doesn't clear the back, and again, Hex, he gets the trade. It's by design, but this is not looking great. Sadzin's ops yet to be spotted in CT spawn, and when he peeks out, you know all hell's already broken loose. OC. Bomb recovered, the one who came late through Palace to join up with them, just $1 short with it, it seems. He's got that molly to try and force Sadzin out, so maybe he can make people sweat from stairs, but there's really not a lot of room for him to work with in this round. And Legacy will sit atop a one-round buffer as they shift back to their strong offensive side. This could be another round where one of them is the victim of timing. Really just depends on what goes on in window. For a moment, Bro seemed like he wanted to repeat, but leaves it to the trusty arms of Nitro to fend off that cat push. Says, if you want to boost in, we'll go about that bridge when we get there. Instead, let him walk up Con, try to take ahead with you, and it's Hex to find the first for the CTs on Cat. But it's an entry in A that Legacy were looking for.
I wouldn't call it desperation from Hex to go for a spray like that. It's coordinated, calculated, looking to find a kill before they get in and through, and it would have been the timing to do it. He knows that he hadn't wasted it, squandered no opportunity on his plate, and even then finding yet another, and he's been really the driving force for them, the only one to frag as this round goes deeper into the clutch. It's post-plant where Lotto and Dumao as well as Nisam are all pretty unhealthy as far as it would go. The AK is still potent as Nitro with the box not going to save his life, and OC looks to elevate, but only finds himself planted in the ground. It's Hex who is now the last remaining, the only to have given them a shot in overtime. Half to round one, and this looks to be map point. Once again,
whatever it may be, Legacy are just going to keep asking for more of it now that they sit with 2 chances to send themselves up by a map going into Dust 2. And Lotto might just W key out A to try and do it again. Only met by a molly, but we saw before this did not stop him. In comes the flash, and in comes the take behind it. Finally, George steps up.
What a time to come alive. Flash high, molly below it, and Neesum's going to look to try and find someone through the floorboards. No such luck. Bro still stands, his teammate by his side. And it starts to get a little bit claustrophobic if you're Legacy right now. Everyone's starting to feel like they've got to make the move, and Lux might be the man to do it, but he's just been given no time to get there before all of his options have dwindled down as far as supporting one of his teammates would be. It's only Sadzin as his last line. And they're between one another, but when will, if at all, anybody turn towards spawn? I don't think they will. They don't have a reason to, really. I think that Lux just got to go on Discovery. No! Unreasonable is the miss on both players.
Gonna need a little bit more of that. And you are right, we missed them. But they get it, see nobody home, and go back into a turtled up site defense.
He now caught a little bit of a moment there. He found himself at the top side of Con, and Sadzin, amidst the chaos, just posts and waits for someone to go swinging on the next point, which they do. But even then, not enough. Again, despite double advantages, they found them in just between the reactionary plays. NRG have gotten beautiful moments, but as esoterically sitting B-side held by OC. Oh my Lotto. What is that and more beyond? Surely not. This man has done it again. Appears seemingly without a thin air onto the swing, and OC can't believe what he's seen. 1 round to do it. Bro, it would have to be the 1v3 to go to a second OT. He's gotten a little bit of util. The nade is scuffed. NA nades. Bro has been indoctrinated well and truly so. Sadzin's ready for the window peak. Although he may miss, it's confirmation of the last player. If they didn't know before, they surely do now. It's Mirage at 16-14, and Legacy take it home.
Nothing too crazy just yet. They don't get out long. They don't take a fight in mid. In fact, they're waiting to do so with a lower crunch. Luck spotting 2 heads, now starting to back away. Couple of shots rip off. No, they're staying around. And he's staying around with a kill. There's so many people trying to take this fight out mid, but nothing's really convincingly going their way just yet. Lux. Well, seconds too long, but still gets away near unscathed. Now it's that mid to B split you said you wanted to see NRG play with.
Very much so did. And let's see if Neesum's got it, man. I mean, run down from so many positions, trying to catch these players on their runs. Not even a single one. Tadzin and Dumao having now to double back and try and play a distance fight once these had faded, knowing there's high potential for someone on the sides left or right of the smoke. I don't really think that they're going to be going for a retake such as this anytime soon. I mean, it's kind of cool to have armor if you're Dumao in the next round. That could be a force, could be a save. Knowing Dust 2, I think very much so justifiable would be a force, knowing these guys.
Extra money could be helpful too.
Yeah.
Give Sadzin a couple heads, I'm sure he'll walk away with it. Oh. Well, so much for that armor. Okay, quick point we mentioned is now gone. Sometimes it don't go your way, and I don't think it's gonna go Sadzin's way either. Hey man,
trying to make his way around that corner. A lot of dob.
Got to get a little bit of information. They're playing blind on that front in this round. Legacy, they know there's a smoke in. They think you're probably going to end up going B, but the rotations aren't necessarily adequate just yet. And the lineup was there, but the kills just aren't through his smoke. There's the kill back from Lux, but Nissim, I mean, you're right. Right on the head. Falls without so much as a peep on that B site, and with it, the round goes in the books.
It can't happen. It simply can't. And it can't happen across a number of maps. It can't happen on this map at all.
Oh.
They're going to be able to get kills, but still a precarious retake with one singular flash. And Sadsin is going to have to be the mastermind to set it. But Nitro is in a really bad spot if they were to double back through tons, but they won't. They don't have a kit. They can't say that there's on the shadow of a doubt that they would lose out. That'll cost them. Solo smoke for Lurk, double up at the doors, and eventually to walk through when they actually chunk in what I believe was a smoke, but they're going to go past it. Dumao will call the audio cues. He can hold mouse 1 and find a double down. OC plays, and not having to worry about Sadzin will he, but his teammates are going to have to, as very much so. He holds his ground as what would effectively cement him as the A-side anchor with all his other options having been befound. So there you go. That's a pretty big one for them. Hold on, the bomb on the back of OC, though. 30 seconds left. Hold on. Abandoning his post. Neesum's got a flank for mid. Oh, no. There's a real possibility that OC might have just slipped the net, but now he's calling it off.
Nothing too aggressive at the start. Maybe a late round boost into the lower tunnels. Maybe looks like that's what they're setting up right now. However, there's 4 walking down Sui, and I don't think anybody's too crazy prepared for this. They're going to hear footsteps, so crossfire will ensue.
Trying to pull his off in time after the molly. Lotto had gotten his kills in before that were the case, though. His teammate had handled it for what it was, but still not pretty. Seeing nice things now from the rest of these Legacy guys. And Neesum tucks to the back of the site. All he's got to do is hold this mouse 1 amidst the smoke and hope to find some kills. It's a very easy task for him. George pulls the last of the incendiaries and mollies that were left to the ground. Doesn't burn them through, considering he'd already shuffled aside, and now OC looks to maybe make a pathway for himself. Oh, missed jump. He will have heard that he was at least attempting to jump onto Xbox, and there's the shadow just barely and briefly seen for Dumao to strike. He's getting a little bit bloodthirsty, follows himself through, but George is in no real place to make an argument for a clutch for my money. It would have to be Steen. Incendiary goes beyond. Seems to find these all over the floor across the map, but in through catwalk and up towards the A site. He's not yet called on the rotation from Sadzin, who still holds his line at mid. He's pretty quick to those jumps, I would typically say, but Lux caught in transition. There's no smoke up in front of him. There's a flash up to his face. They catch him with no way in hell to hit a quick kill, but Sadzin, a little bit of a weird one for Hex to try and call out to his teammates. That was even a possibility, but they're still going to try and go for this, so it would seem. They're regrouping over towards catwalk as Sadzin's pulled from CT spawn.
I mean, sure, why not? Even numbers, I guess. It's A site, so if you're going to retake one of the 2 sites, it's going to be this one, but they still need to find Bro. Did they see him? I don't know. It feels like this might just be spam. Bro might even come out with the advantage on this one, trying to take down the gap player. And there they both fall. No trades in sight till Nissim arrives, but it's too far, too gone, too late, and too much NRG to counter. They'll come back out on top, and that's just a weird one. It feels like Legacy, they called that off from the jump in the 4-on-5. But right now, maybe just seeing what Nitro can or can't do. He's pretty much a hanging pawn the second he goes in with the low HP he's got. Now caught dropping into CT spawn. Lux all too wise to let that one slip. Here comes Lato, and you still got to worry about Nissim. The side anchor Hex drops him in a window, and he knows somebody could be in that smoke. But just too many possibilities to consider. And now George is dropped into an unfathomable spot. Nissim, all he's got to do, stay alive around the big box. Just dance, toy with him, buy time for the rotation.
Nice.
Eventually, even if you lose the duel, the trade will be instantaneous. We'll be tied back all up at 4-4. And he's my next point of interest as Lux comes through to join up with his team. He also got hit by that smoke, fun fact, so he took one more damage. And now Hex is going to try lurking his way out. Barrel seen, head given. This is not a guy you want to give an opportunity. You give a mouse a cookie, you know what happens in the end. But now it's Lato's cookie to take. Now back up Catwalk, Sadson's off. Impact was felt on Mirage, and it'll be felt on Dust 2 right behind it. 40 seconds, but that shouldn't matter. What does is the utility still left in play. Sadson still trying to find picks apart on Catwalk. You got to fight on your own 2 terms, buddy, because that Molly's not going to let you get back to safety. When you look at the health, you start to get a bit worried. Lux calls that both of them are on site, screams for Lato to rotate over. They're going to take the fight to him. He'll tuck into elevator, but there's no util on Cat just yet. Still hears them pattering around. They refuse to go for the plant. Lato, if he dropped the planter, could have been big news. Now you've got to worry because he's gotten off it, and OC's health might not really matter all as much. Lux trying to go for a spam, jumping around. It's chaotic again, but eventually OC up high wins it because of the high ground and ties us back up once more. This one not so much. Was a flash.
Wow.
They go for a boost, trying to look over, but bro is snuck under, and now, yeah, that's a little too much of an audio cue to give away. Good flash, but Tumao, we saw him here a couple of rounds ago. This time, no dice. Sadson turns around from Car. He's the only one hanging on to this. He and Lux, they're the only ones to answer for an A-site defense right now, and Sadson's got so much on his plate. He's just got to pray and hope that he can get one more out of it. 2 spotted crossing out long. They know there's one on Cat right now. You drop Hex, and you might get back into this round. That's what Lato does, is the M4 keeps spraying from sight. And maybe that's a cross. Nissim's calling this from the depths of the CT smoke. Still more damage from Lato. Impact galore as he switches to the sidearm for the third. A little fancy on the last one.
But either way, they're just kind of sitting on their hands right now, and I don't know how long they can really afford to do that. How can Sadson afford to burst and miss that many? A kill would have been beautiful, but you know what? Nissim's got Lotto here, and I almost guarantee they're going to go for the mid to B.
And there are a couple of low players, but again, this is all coming down to timing. They'll be bursting up through the doors. Yeah, it's just not going to fly. They know Nissim's in the smoke. He's done this too many times. Yeah, this one's kind of all over the place. I mean, that was a crazy long commitment by Sadson. I'm just going to be quite frank. That was a head scratcher. I mean, Dumont might get a kill or 2 out of this too, but like, as for actually winning around, that's...
Lotto was afraid of like Tech 9s and a singular FAMAS that hadn't been reloaded yet as far as holding from the window would go. Didn't even want to go for a single kill before dropping. I mean, he kind of wanted to on the re-engagement. He second-guessed himself, but it was never really, you know, full faith. It didn't really look like he was swinging with the confidence you need to make plays like those work. NRG went out the round, and we go into this next half.
With the lurk smoke now thrown, Hex wants to take advantage, sits inside, and he'll have 4 Ts sitting on the opposite end of it. I don't even know if they'll see him. He's sitting in the middle of it, so they don't get body blocked by that. The info's not there, and he comes up right behind the bomb carrier to come back. Nissim drops. Hex is doing everything right now. A 4th, because why the hell not? Lux, the only one prohibiting him from getting the ace. They'll be double peeking mid just to really lock this one down, but Hex is the one-man star of the show in the pistol.
Let's not get too crazy here. Let's not get into calling Hex, come over here and get your ace. Let's get into the mode of closing out this round because Lux is very much so installed. He can get a plant off if he can get to the bomb at tons. You have to walk just outside of it. But he doesn't have a smoke or anything like that. Get a phase on. The doorway that George will jiggle. The backside plat that Hex will hold. And they're going to have to make this one round under lock and key, or Hex's efforts are going to be all in vain. Lux would be the guy you would want in this situation, frankly. He's got the brains, and he's certainly shown he's got the brawn. George can play next contact, and Lux knows that, so they're just going to be playing off of one another. And the time being at 10, it's no shot for it. The ace is just barely from Hexton. It's a headshot to close, a clean one from him. What a masterful performance.
Dude, it's just that small adjustment of sitting in the middle of the smoke, right? It's the difference maker in this round. Everybody paths out to the left of it. That's the intention of the lurk smoke that they throw, and you can't ask for more out of him. And it's so hard to communicate that on the fly, right? When everybody's worried about every other which way.
What do you mean?
Like, for me, it would be like Willie.
Vitali?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, like that.
That's my name.
Yeah, Y in parentheses, the hell, out of parentheses.
Oh, no, that'd be funny.
Yeah, you're welcome. Royalties, buddy. Chop, chop.
Hey, you're getting paid squat. Just as OC might, if they end up actually floundering this round. He's been dispatched of pretty quickly, and actually pretty quickly back to it as Lux is trying to make a greater difference than maybe he had to. They knew that George was here seconds ago, and Neesum's just going to continue to fly up, and I don't blame him. Neesum's looking at catwalk. They're getting flanked, so he's got a good idea about it. Ooh, disgusting is the tap that can only be heard, but there's another. Hex is here. They're kissing. They're actually going shoulder to shoulder. A tango. They do the do-si-do. It's Hex who's gone beyond, and he may have the info that he's gone past just moments after, and now Neesum's got it.
Oh, that's so funny. The nade actually just bumped right off of Hex when he threw that in the smoke. He wanted to make sure that was put to rest quick. Ain't no way you're letting him get back in.
So it's not volumetrically spread the way that they anticipated it to, and Nitro now needing to play accordingly and call over the troops a pistol down below. That's all. The CAD reinforcements are there. And getting a little bit dangerous with that scout is Sadzin, and leading them to at least now know that there's no op. So, I mean, that's a pretty big silver lining, I think, for NRG as far as being able to take more deep swings would go. Unless you're Nitro, who just swings in front of the smoke and gets caught by the clip of the scout. And Dumau's already spread around the side of it. He takes a shot directly through two of them, and a perfect spray to OC, who had no chance.
And it's just more smoke spam on top of that. Hex can't even get away from Gandalf. Just dropped by Lux. Don't even need vision. M4 of George. No man's land to CT, and they give him 2 kills back. Rounds back on. Sadzin says, hell no. But in comes Bro. A winnable 1-on-2 from behind the catwalk smoke. Dumau's suspicious. So Bro takes a long-winded reroute, or does he? Fakes it out by jumping away, maybe make him think it's a save, going back toward long. Whatever the matter may be, they'll get Sadzin on an AK finally off of the puny sniper and play together on headshot. Okay, head given, Bro. He's got health to play with here, man. He wants to take this fight, and they're kind of giving him exactly what he's looking for. These head peeks, the opportunities. One bullet in this round turns butt up, and that's exactly what they're about to potentially do. Dropping into CT, though, with no kit. I think he's going to call this one off. Yeah, eventually, time gets the better of him. Tries to hold the cross back on long. Sadzin says no again.
If very high at all. I think it's like, what, maybe 2 to turn 3 rounds now? I think I think this is the 3rd round.
4.
Maybe 4, yeah. I guess that'll be fine, but it's going to be a double save at that rate. And Neesum, very good entry point. Sadzin not able to swing out wide enough for the next, anticipating a swing further beyond, and actually reads the situation appropriately.
He's already crept out through the doors. They've got Sadzins off beside support. This is all a game of smoke and mirrors, distracting the B players, trying to pull them into uncomfortable angles. Dumau is going to be the first taking contact. Hex had spotted. And that's likely the last defender toward B. Lotto still taking his time to move out, and they pick off OC all the way at A. What the hell do you want to do with this round? Nitro says, you just wait. Because what I want to do is win it. I don't think you're ever clearing this too long. So suspicious again. What? No way he'll clear that. Shut your mouth. Hex teed up for the clutch. He knows where every single solitary member is. And forces one back with a molly. Picks up another in CT. It's a hell amount of utility just stacked up. Nades raining in. Bombs should go down. 5 HP. Lotto lives. And Hex is still got to try and pick them both apart. But Lotto, it looks like he wants to take a fight. They're going to allow Hex to come back into headshot. This is a bad idea. Or maybe not. Lux was holding it well. I was not confident in letting Hex have that angle when he's playing with fire, but they are, and they get 10 off it.
You know, one well-placed flash will blind you more than would blind anybody else, but he avoids molly damage, so that's pretty good, isn't it?
What's even better is potentially kills coming out long on that late re-exec. OC is forced to drop back off a catwalk. You can't take these fights, or can you? I am shocked he gets away with one. Trade from Nissim, and he's still trying to take fights up cat. There's still so much more left to be played, says NRG. A double molly in CT. That's how you know comms are getting chaotic, but the aim just way better. Different level, not for Hex though, as he walks back into the scope of Sadzin. It's again the off to close. We've yet to see a B test from Legacy beyond the pistol. After that went haywire, they've been completely laissez-faire. Now they're going to try to change it up a little bit. Hex, the first caught instead of the man trying to clutch. And a double tap out the long door says night-night. NRG, a 5-on-3 B retake. Used to be crowned one of the hardest sites to get back into in the game. Well, guess what? You've got only 2 players to do it with, and no util. Legacy, a reality we didn't even really discuss much coming into this series was what this series looks like potentially for them as a 2-0. Now we're living it. It's the reality, and it's Legacy winning the first North American Thunderpick series.